As you can see, the reports from MSNBC chief legal correspondent Melber show that the former president Donald Trump is facing criminal charges that could land him in jail. With the defendant now squarely in the sights of law enforcement officials, they are putting the final touches on a dramatic plan to bring the once mighty leader to justice. You may want to know why a defendant charged against the former President Trump could set him up for an arrest. Well, stick around to the end. The world of American politics has been rocked yet again, and this time it's by a new scandal involving former President Donald Trump. If you thought the final season of Game of Thrones was dramatic, wait until you hear about the criminal charges that former President Donald Trump is facing. Rumors have been swirling for months, but now we have confirmation that Trump will face more than 24 counts in an indictment. What could these charges be? Well, they will stem from a payment made to a woman named Stephanie Clifford, better known by her stage name Stormy Daniels. It all started when Miss Daniels tried to sell her story to the National Enquirer, a tabloid that had previously protected Mr. Trump from negative stories. But things took a wild turn when the tabloid's publisher and top editor helped broker a secret deal between Mr. Trump's personal lawyer, Michael Cohen, and Miss Daniels' lawyer. This deal involved a whopping $130,000 payment from Mr. Cohen to Miss Daniels, which was later reimbursed by Mr. Trump himself. Although Cohen has already pleaded guilty to campaign finance crimes related to this payment, the focus of the investigation has now turned to Mr. Trump himself. Cohen has claimed that Trump directed him to make the payment to Daniels, a claim that prosecutors have corroborated. But that's not all. Prosecutors have also raised questions about Trump's monthly reimbursement checks to Cohen, which they say were falsely accounted for as legal expenses. There was no retainer agreement in place, and the reimbursement was not related to any legal services performed by Cohen. Falsifying business records is a crime in New York, and to elevate the charge to a felony, prosecutors must show that Trump's intent to defraud included an intent to commit or conceal a second crime. The second crime could be a violation of election law. While hush money is not inherently illegal, prosecutors could argue that the $130,000 payout to Daniels amounted to an improper donation to Trump's campaign. The legal drama surrounding Trump and the hush money scandal is far from over. Although Trump has consistently denied any wrongdoing and has often referred to investigations and legal cases against him as politically motivated witch hunts. Despite numerous accusations and allegations, he has denied having an affair with Stormy Daniels. However, in regards to the Stormy Daniels case, Trump did admit to having paid his lawyer Michael Cohen. This admission raised questions about whether the payment was made to cover up an alleged affair or to influence the outcome of the 2016 presidential election. Despite these admissions, Trump has maintained his innocence and dismissed any allegations against him as baseless. As the legal cases against Trump continue to unfold, the eyes of the world remain fixed on the former president. The allegations against him and his responses to them have added layers of intrigue and fascination to an already complex political landscape. This leads us to our next question. Will justice be served, or will Trump once again manage to wriggle out of trouble? Stick around to the end to find out. The courtroom is set, and the eyes of the world are upon former President Trump as he faces the legal system, which was set for the 4th of April. Though he won't be handcuffed and dragged away, Trump will still experience the full-blown booking process, including fingerprinting and mugshots. The real drama will unfold when he stands before the judge and the charges are formally read out. But will he plead guilty or not guilty? While it is common for defense lawyers to resolve charges with plea bargains, it appears that Trump will not take a plea deal in this case, which could have significant implications for the outcome of the trial. Plea bargains are a common way for defendants to resolve their cases without going to trial. In a plea bargain, the defendant agrees to plead guilty to a lesser charge or to provide information in exchange for a reduced sentence. However, it seems that Trump may not be interested in taking a plea deal in this case. This could be due to a number of factors, such as his belief in his own innocence, or a desire to maintain his image as a strong leader who never backs down. Without a plea deal, Trump's lawyers have two moves left. The first is to try to get a judge to toss the case. This is a common tactic used by defense lawyers, but it's not usually successful in felony cases like this one. To succeed, Trump's lawyers would need to convince the judge that the charges are not supported by the evidence, or that there was some kind of procedural error in the investigation. The second option is to go to trial. Going to trial is a risky move for both the defense and the prosecution, as the outcome is uncertain. A trial would require both sides to present evidence and arguments in front of a jury and judge, who would then decide whether Trump is guilty or not guilty. If Trump is found guilty, he could face significant legal consequences, including fines and prison time. He could also face political consequences, such as damage to his reputation and potential loss of support from his base. However, if he is found not guilty, it could potentially strengthen his image as a powerful leader who overcame legal challenges. Do you know about the Capitol riot of January 6, 2021? The January 6 Capitol riot was a shocking and unprecedented event in American history, with thousands of supporters of former President Donald Trump storming the Capitol building in an effort to overturn the results of the 2020 presidential election. However, recent developments have shed new light on the events of that day. Members of the far-right militia group, the Oath Keepers, have been indicted for their involvement in the insurrection, with the charges revealing that they conspired with other right-wing extremist groups to storm the Capitol building. This suggests that the attack was not a spontaneous outburst of anger, but rather a coordinated effort by multiple groups. The House Select Committee investigating the events of January 6, 2021 has recommended that former President Donald Trump face criminal charges for his role in connection with the riot. This recommendation comes after months of investigations into Trump's actions leading up to and during the riot, including his encouragement of his supporters to march to the Capitol building and his failure to immediately call for an end to the violence once it began. Considering the multiple ongoing legal cases against Donald Trump, would Trump still be eligible to run for the upcoming presidential election? Who knows? Thanks for sticking with us till the end, and we'll see you in the next video.